just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
Do you know any slow or special people?
Now there's plenty of tards out there living really kick-ass lives.
You're a moron.
That's the dumbest thing I've heard of.
Retard alert! Retard alert, class!
You're a smart motherfucker, that's right. You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
Don't you feel like a stupid dummy?
He was a retard.
Time for Ask Dr. Stupid, with your host, Dr. Stupid.
Dumbass.
Hey, dummies. It's your host, Dr. Stupid, a.k.a. Derek Woods. How's everybody doing? You know, I know it's been a while since I did an episode, but, you know, it's hard to do anything else right now, you know, with everything going on, except, you know, thinking about your boy George Floyd and everything else, police brutality, Black Lives Matter, you know. It's hard to want to do comedy when all that stuff is going on. But, you know, I think that, I mean, we still going. The protest's still going. And it sounds like people are trying to do some real changes, finally. And a little bit of reduction in police power. I mean, there's a lot of stuff they can do. You know, a lot of places are starting to ban chokeholds now. So that's good. Don't be choking people out. And they need to demilitarize, you know, and they need some like kind of approval or something if they draw their weapon, you know. You can't just, I mean, cops are so quick to point a gun at you. I mean, they'll point a gun at you for, you know, blinking, and that's not cool, man. So they need some kind of registry every time you know what they need? They need to make a thing. Every time their gun thing gets unbuckled, it registers, and then they have to explain why they did that. Boom. And if it's for something short of a murder investigation, then what are you doing? You know? Why are you pointing weapons at people for nothing? I seen a video of a guy the other day. He was just standing in his yard, like washing his car, and this cop was sitting, like staring at him. So this guy started filming the cop, and then the cop came up, pulled his gun out, pointed at this guy, and he was in his own yard just chilling. I've never seen the guy, so I don't know. But the dude, yeah, you can't just point weapons at people for nothing. And ban the chokeholds. There you go. That's a good one. Don't be choking nobody out, man. Shit. Anyway. Everybody that always try to say, oh, but what about looting? It's like, hey, man, you know, Colin Kaepernick wasn't looting, you know. They tried peaceful protests, Eric Gardner and all these other people, and all the other people, all these cops got away with because, I mean, how many times they were like, oh, yeah, we'll arrest this guy. And then he goes to court. They're like, you know what? Everybody forgot because it's been 4 months and not guilty. Now, there's no way they could do that to this guy. If they did a no guilty on this fucking guy, you know, like 4 months from now, or any of the four, bro, you think looting's bad now? Man, we're gonna burn down everything for sure. Or at least I would be willing to. So yeah, man, need some reform. A lot of places there stop using tear gas, but you know what? The cops are so stupid, and I said this on an earlier episode. Cops need more rules. Cops are dumb as fuck. They're so dumb that the entire United States protested against police brutality, and they brutalized the shit out of us. They was like, wow, you guys are super proving our point. Oh man, they super proved everybody's point, man. There's no denying it now. Everybody knows, man. Cops are they're fucked, man. It's the whole institution, man. If it was up to me, I would totally dissolve it and we would start something over with a new name, not called police, not called cops. We need human helpers. Name them that. Instead of fucking sounding all scary and shit, call them the human help. The helper outers. Hey, oh man, I need one of those helper outer guys. You know? So, that's what I would do, man. Let's start over. We need to, just go ahead and all these guys got to go. A fresh new batch. We'll take care of ourselves for a few days while we get it together. It'll be okay. You know, we're all fine. Everybody's more together right now than they have been in forever. And what about COVID? Do you even remember COVID? Now everybody's protesting. They're like, oh, that's fine, but I still can't go to the gym. Well, the shit's still reopening. Who cares, man? Protests a lot more important than fucking going to the gym. Anyway, yeah, man. Totally forgot about COVID so far. But, man, I'm proud of everybody for getting out there and making this happen because I feel like it'll be some real change on the horizon. But we haven't seen it yet, and we don't know, and they haven't convicted these guys. So it ain't over yet, man. It's not over, man. We still got a long ways to go. Oh, and you know what I watched earlier? George Floyd's brother testified in front of Senate or Congress, whatever, earlier, and that was pretty good. You know, his brother used to call him Perry. He's like, my big brother, he was our gentle giant. And this guy, I don't know how he did it, but man, he spoke pretty good for, a good 6 minutes, 7 minutes, something like that. And it was a good speech. So check that out on YouTube, man, if you hadn't seen it. So yeah, man, what else is going on? Is there anything else going on? I haven't done shit. I did go to a bar somewhere, in another state, and there was no social distancing there. I was at a bar, I was drinking, I was hanging out with people, giving them hugs, we were laughing. I threw up in a hotel room. I busted my chin on the toilet while I was throwing up. It was awesome. Because the first night that you go back out, you forget that you haven't went out in forever, and you really can't do it very well. Probably spent $30 on food, and I puked up all of it. So awesome. I don't know what all those models feel like, what else is going on? Is anything else going on? Restaurants. That's the only one I've only been to one. I just don't want to participate in the dumb rules. If I had to go somewhere and they're like, wear a mask and then take it off and then put it back on and take it back off and all that. And I'm like, man, it ain't even worth it. It ain't even worth it to me. If I'm going to do something, I want to go do it to have fun, not to fucking deal with bullshit. So I ain't trying to deal with that bullshit. Fuck all that. I'll just wait till shit's open. What else is going on? Oh, they had a UFC pay-per-view. Amanda Nunes just pieced up this girl for 5 rounds, and Felicia Spencer is a very tough person because she took a beating. Amanda Nunes is a very scary woman, but if I was her, I would just go out on top. It's like, look, I'm the best ever. Y'all know I'm the best. I ain't really have any competition. It's like I was smashed everybody that I fought. So I don't know. UFC's being dicks to people, man. They're not paying anybody because they ain't got no, and they're trying to blame it on not having crowds or whatever. But the UFC's been not paying motherfuckers shit. They're making a shit ton of money and they ain't giving the fighters any of it. They're keeping it all for themselves. Compared to other pro sports, baseball, football, whatever, man, the players make a lot more of the revenue. So now they ain't got crowds right now. They're still having fights, and they still just had a pay-per-view, okay? And that pay-per-view is like $70, right? Now, with everybody home, and it was pretty big, I could guess they could sell at least 750,000 of those pay-per-views. So close to a million, I would say. You know, maybe they even hit a million because everybody's bored and it's the only sport on. And if they hit a million, then that means that's 70 mil right there. So, I mean, the gates, they only bring in sometimes a few $1 million if they're somewhere big and it's sold out. But they can't blame that shit on the crowds. They're still getting advertising money. They're getting ESPN deal money. They're getting pay-per-view dollars. They're getting all kinds of shit. So they're getting money. I mean, they barely took a little break. And the company that bought the UFC paid $4.6 billion for it. And they're like, oh, we can't afford to lose $20, you know. But yeah, okay. I didn't explain how the UFC were being dicks. I know Jorge Masvidal, he was trying to get this title fight, but I don't think they wanted to pay him. They only wanted to pay him like half of what he made his last fight. And he's like, what? No? He's like, well, we don't have crowds. And they're like, so you're still getting that pay-per-view money? You're still getting that advertising money? You're still a $4 billion corporation. Bro, get it? I mean, just because you missed out on a couple of weeks, you know? You're not, I mean, the NFL takes a whole off season. I don't know. I feel like the UFC shouldn't be struggling because of a couple of months, you know? Because it wasn't that long that they didn't have one. And this one had to sell good. So, how about this? You talking about not paying fighters, but going to Abu Dhabi and having a fight island in Abu Dhabi. They got a fight island on Abu Dhabi, but we can't pay Jorge Masvidal the amount of money he deserves. What? Come on, man. And now they got Gilbert Burns in there. It's like the two guys fighting 170 for the title aren't even the two best guys. They're like the number 5 guy fighting the number 8 guy. And the number 1 and number 2 guy, you know, ain't even in the picture. It's insane what the UFC is doing. I want to pay people, man. Fighters get shit, you know. Some of the UFC fighters only make like $3,000 when they go fight. And they screwed them over with that Reebok deal. See, that used to be a thing. You could make that fucking shitty paycheck, but you could sell you sell a bunch of advertising and get a sponsor deal and all this shit. And now they can't even do that. So I know Masvidal was asking to be let go from the UFC. He was like, well, if I'm an independent contractor, then make me independent and let me go get paid in Bellator. Because Bellator apparently pays a lot better than UFC. And some guys went over there and found that out. Now, the biggest guys, yeah, you know, when Conor McGregor goes in there, he's making bazillions. When Khabib's in there, he's making $1 bazillion. DC's making $1 bazillion, you know. But not that much, actually. Okay, so Masvidal asked to let go. John Jones said he's retiring. He said he's relinquishing his belt because UFC didn't want to pay him. Who else? Henry Cejudo, he retired. So, like, a lot of their big name guys, top money guys, are being like, you ain't going to pay me what I'm worth, then I'm not fighting. And the UFC is trying to flex. UFC's trying to flex, but all right, fine then. Don't fight. We'll let you go. Okay. Go ahead. I'm already rich. You know, I'm already. John Jones is already rich. You don't need to fight ever. He's like, okay, I'll retire. I'm cool. And McGregor, McGregor said he's out, which is what, probably 3rd, 4th, 5th retirement. He'll probably retire 6 more times. 6 times. Conor McGregor's going to retire 6 more times after this. He's going to make a comeback when he's 42. I bet you Conor McGregor fights when he's 42. I bet $100 on it right now. Wait and see. Give me that interest too. But not if I lose. I ain't paying it. Anyway. McGregor, man, he ain't fought forever. He come back, beat Cowboy, and he's like, I'm gonna fight 1,000 times. And then now he's retired. Oh, what else? Who was the co-man? Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt had a super knockout. He had his hand behind him on the fence. His hand was behind him on the fence. And then he pushed off the fence with his hand, come all the way around, and clipped this guy with the biggest right hook ever thrown in the history of fights. It might be the biggest hook this ever landed, ever. And KO'd this guy. But the other KO of the night was a Sugar Sean O'Malley. And he did like a fake uppercut shoulder drop. He just dropped his shoulder. Dude bit on it. And then right hand, yak, knockout. But it was good. He looked disappointed. It was over too early. The guy he fought was Eddie Wineland, which is he's a vet, man. He's been around, and he had an amazing mustache. He looked like a stagecoach driver. Imagine a stagecoach driver's mustache. That's what he looked like. And he was a great fighter, but Sean O'Malley just went in there and was like, "What? Smash!" You know, he's great. I'm ready to see some more of his fights as well. Speaking of fighting, I think the MMA gyms are actually about to open back up, so I can go train again. Finally, I did buy a heavy bag, so that's been working out. I beat the lights out of the ceiling. The light fixtures in the garage. I hung the heavy bag, and I was hitting it, and one day one of the lights fell out, and then I retightened all of them, and then another day I made another light fall out. And then they shattered on the floor. Yeah, so heavy bag's good. I got a kettlebell. I found one. So I've been doing home gym stuff, and I hate home gym. I don't want to do home gym. I did a little home gym today, and I started working out, and then I quit, and then I started again, and I quit again, and then I did a pretty good workout after that, though. It's so hard because I could just do anything else so easily do something else. I'll give up on a home workout real fast. Oh, man. So, what's going on? What is there to talk about? I'm telling you, man, that's how I felt. I felt it was, hard to do a podcast right now. It's hard to make jokes and be funny because shit is getting real. Coronavirus. Yeah, shit's getting real, man. Shit's real in the streets, man. And I did go down to protest a few times. And I drove downtown, and I had a bike, and I drove close, and then I biked in the rest of the way. And it was pretty good, man. I didn't really see too much, People's out there revving up their engines and all this stuff, going crazy. I seen a couple people trying to break into a bar the first night I went out. I don't know if it was a bar or a dispensary, but they were definitely breaking in somewhere. I don't know. I didn't fuck with it. I didn't destroy no shit. I was only going down there if cops were fucking people up, try to help them out, And that's what everybody was down there. We're just down here in case anyone gets hurt. But I'll tell you what is fucked though is, I think it was over 150 like news reporters have been tear gassed, assaulted, and just straight up brutalized by the police during all this too. And the news are supposed to have immunity. Cops are just supposed to walk past the reporter. You know, they're not supposed to blast them, bro. That's called freedom of the press, you know. And you can't blast news reporters unless you're a cop. You can. And they have been, man. They've been blasting with tear gas, shooting with the pepper balls, beating them, pepper spraying them, arresting them. I've seen the cops arrest. They arrested a congressman on accident, a mayor on accident. You know, there was like, this one guy's like, I'm a fucking senator, and there was like pepper spray. They don't give a fuck. They don't even care about congressmen and shit. They've been fucking them up while they're down there. Oh man, it just goes to show you, and then that goes to show you that fucking one bad apple fucking bullshit ain't true. They're all bad apples, bro. Because here's the deal: it's like one bad apple doesn't ruin the bunch, unless you leave the bad apple in there, and then make rules to remove the bad apple. Then the bad apple does ruin it, because they're all still there. You know, they don't fire these guys. They have no repercussion. They can make up a charge on anybody at any time, and there's nothing that anybody can do about it. So they're just straight up abusing their power. And I had a point with that, and I forgot exactly where I was going with it. You know, I was trying to say that cops proved our point about police brutality, and they disproved their one bad apple fucking bullshit, man. The whole damn thing is corrupt, and everybody knows it, man. They're a fucking uniform mafia, and these police motherfuckers, man, Jesus, I mean, they act like they don't value our lives at all. And like I said, I mean, I already talked about this on the Cops Need More Rules episode. It's probably ain't put one out in so long. I was trying to wait, you know, to get some more stuff to talk about, but really is nothing else to talk about. So, the police have been militarized. We got to demilitarize them, and they just need to take a step back. Everybody over here is not at war with the police. They're at war. We're not. We're just out here chilling. You know, quit being at war with us. We're not the enemy. We're not the enemy. We're fucking the people that you work for, man. Human helpers. That's what we got to do, man. We got to change the damn name of police, bro. They need to be called helpers. Problem solvers. I'm not problem solvers. You know, I ain't the sharpest bowl in the bowl drawer. You know what I mean? I ain't the gradiest cheese grater. I'm not the feltiest pool felt in the pool felt drawer. So I don't know. I don't have it. I mean, everybody says I don't have answers, but I feel like I do have a couple answers. Here's the answer. If they came out this week, and man, I've already said this 5 times. I talked about this on the, Cops Need More Rules episode. You need some kind of police protection bill of rights, and it needs to be some kind of like, police shall not murder American citizens unless it is literally a murder case. Unless it's a homicide case, why are you killing anybody? You know what I'm saying? Can't kill somebody for $20. Can't kill somebody for fucking, this or that, or fucking suspicion of something. It has to be like real shit. Positive identification, And 2, cops need some sort of rules of engagement. You cannot just pull your weapon out and point at people for, running a stoplight for $20, bruh. Our lives are worth more than you can't shoot people for a misdemeanor. You shouldn't be shooting people for a felony. You should only be shooting people for a literal, like, murder case. I mean, why else would you shoot anybody? I don't know, man. Anyway, number 3 would be something like, or number 2 would be, there's got to be some kind of end to lethal force. I talked about earlier with the every time their weapon becomes unholstered, it should register, and it should be an event, and that event has to be scrutinized. We need a, you know what? Oh, okay, boom, I got another one. All right, so number 2 is going to be anytime a cop pulls out their weapon, they have to report it. Okay, and number 3 should be, so number 1 is like, you have the right not to be murdered by the police. And that's where you get rid of, lethal force unless absolutely necessary. You need some approval. If you have to let somebody get away to not murder them, let them go. You probably catch them later. Don't worry about it. It'll be okay. And your fat ass donut eating ass won't have to run, bitch. Your fat ass donut eating bitch. All right. So 1, you have the right not to be murdered. 2, every time a weapon gets unholstered, it needs to be registered. 3 was, no more chokeholds, which a lot of places are doing. 4, oh man, damn it, I had it and I lost it. I had it and I lost it. All right, 4 needs to be, we need an outside civilian agency that monitors the police. Okay, cops don't need to run internal affairs. We need civilians to run internal affairs. We don't need cops prosecuting cops because we already know what happens with that. They get away 100% of the time. We need regular people working internal affairs. We need, let's get some protesters. Let's get some black people to work internal affairs. Okay? For the police. All right? I'll be in there every day, man, checking every detail of every ticket, every case they're working on. And I think that would be a step in the right direction. Outside internal affairs. External affairs. Okay? Yeah, they need some kind of outside organization checking them. Because if nobody's checking them, then if they're just they're literally checking themselves. We have internal affairs. Well, yeah, who's running that? All our buddies. That's been cops for 20 years. Like, the way to get in internal affairs is to be like a cop for 30 years. They never let a random person do that. Because I thought about that one time, way back in the day. I was like, if I could go straight into, just not having a job, into internal affairs, and I'd be a cop that arrests other cops, I would be the best at that job ever. I'd walk in every morning pointing at them and be like, don't fuck up. I'm going to get your ass. As soon as y'all fuck up, I'm going to get y'all's ass. And that's how I felt when I was overseas in Iraq. I felt like if I fucked up, they were going to get my ass. So cops need to feel that way. And the only way they're going to feel that way is if we have an extraordinary, if we have an extraordinary group. If you have some kind of external civilian organization that is monitoring and checking these motherfuckers, man, because they need to be checked, obviously. If that's not obvious by now, then I don't know what is. All right, so that was number 4. Number 3 was what? Was number 3 no more chokeholds? All right. What else, man? I don't know. But, I mean, those don't sound too bad. I mean, I'm saying if Congress came out and said they had a police protection bill of rights, listed those 4 things and maybe a few more, wouldn't that be the best thing that ever happened to us in a really long time? Like, I would feel a lot freer if I knew I had some kind of bill of rights, man, against police and police brutality. Unless they completely dissolve the police. Oh, you know what number 5 was going to be? Demilitarize the police. Boom. That's number 5. And look, if you had those 5 things wrote down. 1, you should not be murdered. Lethal force is only used for people who's already used lethal force or some shit like that. All right. 2 was fucking goddamn it good. And 2, every time you can't pull your pistol without it registering. And don't tell me we can't do that technology. Police have $1 bazillion anyway. So why don't you sell all your military shit and you're just going to have pistols, and on those pistols, every one of them's going to have a little like clip fucking thing, and every time that clip comes undone, it registers to the chief or to the station or to a database, a public database, by the way. There needs to be a public database that every time a cop unholsters and points their weapon at a person, it needs to be registered, explained, and justified. All right. What else? So yeah, man, don't point your weapon at people for fucking stealing a loaf of bread and then shoot them in the face, because I'm sure they would. Man. All right. Number 3, no more chokeholds. Number 4 was the external group checks and balances. Number 4, checks and balances. Boom. They need checks and balances. So, and number 5, demilitarize the police. And I think that sounds at least a jumping off point. And I just made all this shit up, man. I mean, I'm just a regular person who thought about it for a few minutes. So, don't tell me they can't do shit. They can do shit. And I feel like some shit is getting done. Chokeholds have been ruled out of a few places now, I believe. So that's good. What else? I really like the idea of the registering every time your weapon even comes unholstered. Not if you just pick it up, even if you hold it. Just moving the flap off of it. Ping. And that needs to go to a public database with your name. And how about this? I thought like your badge number had to be out. I'll tell you one thing that Corona has also exposed is laws aren't laws. It's just whatever people feel like they feel. Because before this, you couldn't be drinking in public, on the streets, on the sidewalk or whatever. And then they're like, I guess it's okay. And then, all kinds of stuff, dude. Before all this happened, it was illegal to deliver alcohol. And now they're like, I guess it's okay. They didn't change any laws. They just let it happen, So, I mean, that's just 2 examples. I'm sure there are plenty more. There's plenty more stuff that is a straight up, you can't do this. And then circumstance happens and they're like, man, I guess you can. I mean, it's too many laws. Cops are bullshit. I'm tired of it, man. I'm ready to get back to some regular shit, man. I want to go fucking do regular shit. Yeah. But it's all good. But I don't mind protesting still, man. I'm so proud of everybody still. I didn't think anybody had it in them. But this is it, man. I said it on the first one, man. That first episode I did it like, cops need more rules just a day or two after George Floyd Perry, as his brother would call him. And I got a lot of that feeling out then, and I didn't know. I said it. I said, "Is this going to be it? Is this going to be the time that we don't stop until there's real change?" And it was, man. It totally was. This was the time that nobody stopped, and it's good, man. And I don't blame anybody, because I still find myself, even the day I was sitting around, I could still see the dude in the video with his knee on his neck, man. It pops into my brain. I think about it all the time now, man. But I'm proud of everybody out there doing your thing, man. These cops need to be, because how many has it been, dude? How many? It's too many. But here's the deal. The big change hasn't came yet. Nothing. We got to have something nationwide. It has to be like for real. And I don't know if it's going to get done, man, because our government is so ineffective, so dumb, so incompetent, so not in touch with reality, so not elected by us, so non-representative of the American people. I don't know if anything's going to, get done besides each individual local police department making their own little rules or whatever. Instead of having a nationwide police protection bill of rights or some kind of, similar thing, I don't think that's going to happen, because I think Congress is too fucking incompetent, too out of touch with reality, too stupid, and too divided. They don't work together. They can't pass shit. And I won't even mention Fuckface's name. I don't even like to mention that fuckface. And yeah. So politicians in general, they just don't represent the American people anymore. What politician would you hang out with on a Saturday? What politician do you know that has any of your interest in mind? I don't know a one. Bernie Sanders is about the only motherfucker I've seen. And dude, just think if he was the fucking president right now, what would he be doing? He would be doing some shit. Bernie would be doing some shit. But the DNC fucking banged him over, and our political system is not real. We lived in there's not much difference between us and China. The difference between us and China is we have better money. Well, not more money, but we have better propaganda. And look, when Hong Kong was rioting, you see the way the police beat them? They're doing the same shit to us. So Chinese cops and American cops, same kind of cops. Who they all protecting? The government and the rich. Who are our cops protecting? The government and the rich. There's not a lot of difference between us and China. Only difference we ain't got no. We can get on the whole internet. They let us have the whole internet, and that's about it, really. It's not. I'm telling you, man. The way China rules their country is the same way we rule our country. If you don't think the government could come take your fucking business, you're crazy, because they can. China's government can come take your business. America's government can also come take your business. 100%. If you think this is a free market, then how do companies get bailed out? That makes it void right there. So the government expects us to follow all these rules, and we expect them to, have our best interests, but they don't anymore. So why do we have to follow their rules? Tell you, man, I definitely encourage stealing from corporations. If we're gonna loot something, let's loot Amazon, bro. What's up? And hey, man, but I understand looting, bro, because they ever try to be peaceful too many times. I told y'all, man, I didn't see any shit coming a mile away, boy. I just didn't know this was going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. But man, sometimes it's just so egregious that everybody's like, God damn, you know what? You're right. These motherfuckers are out of control. Oh, man. I don't feel bad for cops, though. Fuck them, man. They chose that life. You know? There's little, we're cops. We have unlimited power. And, you know. But what are they doing, man? We're out here chilling. And how about this? Why is all the tear gas and all the batons and cops running? What about the cops in New York running motherfuckers straight over? Run them over, bro. Anyway. And, the radio clip got out. I seen the radio clip of that one. On the radio, and there's 2 NYPD cop cars. I'm sure most everybody's seen it by now. So there was 2 cop cars, and it looks like a barricade, and they were up by some people, and both of them tried to run people over. Cop cars running people over. Hilarious. Not hilarious, but I can't believe it. And, well, I guess I can believe it. Anyway, the radio transmission got leaked. Go Google that, because they were up there. It's like, hey, people are blocking us. And then they answered back and said, run the motherfuckers over. And then it was like, yeah, shoot them bitches. You know, that's the way they talk. And then another guy had to come on the radio and say, not on the radio, not on the radio. And people caught it, bro. People caught it. Because that's how they talk about us, bro. They're like, kill them bitches. They ain't us. And I kind of know the feeling. Because when I was in the Army and I was in Iraq, if I'm riding down the street and I see a bunch of Iraqis and I had to blast them, I ain't going to feel no different, you know, because I was there doing what I had to do. And these cops have that same mentality that we had while we were at war, except we treated our enemies a little bit better than they do. But, yeah, man, I almost know that feeling. So I could see how cops would say some shit like that, because I would say some shit like that if I was talking about our enemies that we were at war with, you know. If I was doing that, if I was riding in my Humvee with a 50 cal and I rolled up on some people, it was like, oh shit, there's 50 of them, they won't let us through. I would be like, blast them motherfuckers, bro, because we ain't gonna die today, you know. I'm trying to get out of here. But when it's American citizens and you're the police in America, the right answer to that would have been, oh, we're going to turn around and go another way or something. Not run motherfuckers over. I felt like even if I was shooting at people, I'd be in more trouble for running them over. Like, I feel like that's somehow a war crime or something. I don't know. I never thought about, the whole time I was there, running anyone over. It's weird. Because you could do it. Especially if you're in a tank. You know? You could just crush motherfuckers. We had a bunch of big trucks over there, you know? Our trucks were a lot bigger than most people's. So, but never even crossed my mind. I would never have done that. And I would shoot them in the face. But I ain't gonna run them over. Is that decency? I don't know. Is it stupid that I'd murder somebody but not run them over? You know? Only if I was at war, though. You know? And they had to be shooting at me and killing me first before I would even consider that shit. Not cops, though, man. You round a cop and you fucking cut a loud fart, they'll pull their weapon out and point it at you. You know? Get on the ground! Oh my God. Speaking of get on the ground, fucking one video. Oh man, I can't remember his name. Sorry. But another black guy, 2 cops on him, have this guy on the ground stretched out. He can't move. And this cop pulls his weapon out and he says, "Get on the ground!" This dude is on the ground. They're holding him on the ground and then he blasts him in the chest. What? Get on the ground! Oh man, that's like something out of a movie. Oh, you know what movie? I'm about to rewatch that. I'm gonna try to download it today. It's called 3 Strikes. Now that's a comedy movie, but it's about this guy that's running from the cops, and they're making shit up and trying to catch this guy. Like, I'm sure he's innocent or whatever, but it's actually a pretty funny movie. And then, they catch up to him one time. As soon as all the cops get there, one guy goes, he starts looking around. He just yells, "Look out, he's got a gun!" And they just start firing. And it's like off the arm, man. Oh, they'll pull their weapon so fast. Dude, they need that holster register. Maybe I'll invent it. Me and Elon Musk, bro. Elon Musk, hit me up. Police holster register. Every time, boop, sends it out. Boop, everybody gets alert. Oh, this guy pulled his gun. For what? And if it's not justified, and if it's not something fucking super goddamn serious, bro, like, it needs to be some serious shit. I mean, it means domestic violence, rape, murder. If it's not those 3 things, then why are you pulling your weapon, dude? Oh, I seen a nurse post, like, nurses and medical doctors, it's like, we deal with drunk, belligerent, injured people all the time that are fucking going crazy. It's like, and all we do is use restraint. So, we need that restraint law. Something, man. They got to come up with some kind of nationwide law, man. It's not going to be enough. Need something big. Got to have something big. It needs to be a real shift and a real shift. They got to make a fucking 90-degree turn in the direction they're going. They got to stop and make a turn. Because if they don't, and they just keep doing what we've seen, and the endless amount of people, girls that are, 4'5" that cops are shooting in the face with tear gas, 80-year-old men they shoved down. Did you see the old guy? They shoved him down, fucked him up. Trump, god damn it, I hate that fact. Trump bitch ass. He said some shit on Twitter about like he deserved it. And then all those fucking Buffalo police cheered those 2 cops as they walked out after they got suspended. The whole Buffalo Police Department. Go ahead and fucking end them. Fire every one of those cops, bro. Because that's the problem. I mean, how's it not? It's so clear. That's part of the problem, man. They don't value our lives anymore. Can we get a life value bill? Can my life have value again? Can black lives have value again, please? Can you please respect people that's out here trying to live? Black lives have value. Black lives matter. And we need to make a huge, huge, huge change. And it's up to our motherfucking government, which is a piece of shit. Oh, they suck. Oh, man. Everybody's starting to get a taste of it. I've been knowing this shit for years. I seen it when I joined the Army. I seen the government's incompetence. I seen all the bullshit they're doing. I know it's a huge house of cards, And it is, man. It's falling, dude. Falling. Free falling cards of houses and house cards. House calls. House calls? I don't know. Oh, man. There's just nothing else to talk about. I can't go to a comedy show. I can't stop thinking about that guy's knee. on Perry's neck. You know. So America's fucked right now, dude. We need a big change. How we gonna do it? Not through an election. That shit ain't even real. Oh man. What about the rest of the Epstein doc? Everybody thinks he's a deep state or something like that. I don't know. But okay. Yeah. So Epstein, right? He had Clinton out there. So Clinton was already a wild man. And I think they went and got these underage girls on purpose. That was a place where they videotaped them, banging these young girls. They had it on tape, and they just had, I think Epstein had literally the entire government by their balls with all these sex tapes that he had of them. He was bringing them dudes over there and banging all these chicks. And, I mean, and that was some deep state shit. That was how the CIA operates. And people don't know a lot about this motherfucker, man. He's shady and all this shit and all this shit and that. How the fuck you get a whole island? Anyway, dude was molesting girls and all his buddies. Trump, Clinton, all of them. They were doing it too. And I'm sure Epstein had a tape of Trump doing some shit. That's probably why he actually got killed. Because when it even happened, I don't even remember, because it's not important. All I know is he didn't kill himself. He got murdered. And if it was while Trump was president, Trump did that shit. He knew he had that tape. He knew he did. So the moment, Epstein probably tried to use that shit on him. And Trump was like, oh, hell to the no. We'll get you arrested right now. But, yeah, man, Epstein had the fucking government shit by the balls, bro. I bet he had sex tapes of so many people. It was ridiculous. I mean, it's a genius plan. Get an island. Get all these rich, powerful people out there. Get dirt on them. And then fucking do whatever you want, man. Just be immune to the world. Do whatever the fuck you want. It's crazy, though. And, man, and you just don't, dude. You don't go to Jeffrey Epstein's island 26 times when he has, all these underage girls all the time with him. Man, Clinton was in there banging them underage girls, bro. You know it. And black people don't want to hear that because Clinton was like their favorite president before Obama. I don't know. I don't give a shit about the government, politics. It all sucks. It's going to fall down, fall apart. I'm just trying to do the best I can do, over here. I'm trying to live my best life and trying not to get shot in the face. Oh, man. So, I pretty much talked about everything I talked about on the last episode on this one. I made my police protection thing a little bit better. I don't know, man. What can I say? I'm not in charge of shit. I'm a fucking idiot who talks about fucking Chinese boner pills, bro. Why the fuck would anybody listen to me about any of this shit? Yeah, So, all right, dummies. Maybe some shit start happening, and I can report back to the world with some more comedy. I'm gonna get back into the thing, man. Had to take a break. George Floyd. I got these 2 episodes out, so these will be my 2 episodes that address this. And I mean, people keep saying I don't have the answers, but there are answers, and there are answers. There's definitely stuff they could do to limit the police's power and lethal force and all this shit. So, fuck the police, straight from the underground, as Ice Cube would say. Do a better job, man. Quit eating donuts, you bitches. They're for me. I want to get fat. I want to fucking eat donuts. Or if donut sales went down or up. You think there's more or less donuts now? Do you think there's more donuts because their donuts being bought by the police are probably increasing, especially if they got to be out at night, they come back to the station. It's like, we got everybody more donuts. I bet. I wonder if donut sales are up. I don't know. Are people eating less donuts though? Because you're like, man, fuck donuts, man. Fuck the police. I ain't no cop. I ain't eating no donut. Fuck out of here. I'd feel like that sometimes, especially if I was black. If I was black, I would be like, fuck the police. I mean, fuck donuts, for sure. You know. What else? All right, guys. I think that's gonna be it for today. I gotta pee. I gotta get up. I gotta do shit. So, you know, Black Lives Matter. Keep it going, man. Protest till there's a big change. You know, if you got to ride in the streets, you got to, because peaceful protests don't do shit. We already know that. Martin Luther King was nonviolent. What they do to him? Murder. You know, it don't work. So, unpeaceful protests. You got to do what you got to do, man. I ain't against it at all. Can't let George Floyd die with no repercussions, with no changes, you know. And if you're listening to this for some goddamn reason still, you know, if you was out there doing something, man, I'm proud of you. Get out there, man. We need our rights. This is America. This is America. It ain't China, ho. This ain't China, ho. This ain't fucking China, ho. Damn, I wish I would have come up with that at the beginning of this. That's why I would have did this whole episode about this ain't China, ho. Maybe that'll be my next episode. Bitch, this ain't China, but I want them Chinese boner pills. Faux show. Alright. I am out of here. George Floyd, rest in peace, baby. And everybody else who's been a victim of police brutality for no fucking reason, man. All the black people has been choked out for nothing, for jogging, for sleeping. Breonna Taylor, the guy down in Georgia, what was his name? Started with an A. I'm sorry, I fucking suck with names. I can barely remember them all. But, god damn it, man. Change time. It's change time. And this is not the best episode ever. I think the Cops Need More Rules was a way better one. But I'm getting back in it. I was a little rusty, and I felt like maybe towards the end I got a little traction going, but who knows? Maybe I suck, you know, and that's what I always think. So that'll never change. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Bye, dummies.